board. Jaeger, an operator who is banned in very specific circumstances, will get taken out by Orgless. Interestingly enough, I would imagine that Orgless is likely going to be running some very projectile and throwable. You lose those Candelas. Unreal is also quite low. Oh no, Amar Necrox himself. He's going to take down 2 on Unreal and Brian, as Brian and Crazy get 2 frags immediately traded out. Canadian is there to eliminate Yeti. Crazy with that R4C in hand, peeks around the corner. He sees Necrox, unable to fetch the diffuser, as he will likely have 1 body or 2 in his way. But no, actually completely unimpeded. And with 15 seconds to go, Crazy can begin to get the diffuse off in the doorway. And he can possibly make his escape. He does it. Evil Genius is with no information at all to know that Crazy has played this the way he has.
Oh.
Gumine's going down, but no, Crazy pops up. Wrong place, wrong. Hey, you know, it's not the sight that it used to be, and obviously, as you mentioned, a big part of that relies on the operator bans too. Canadian will start things off by taking out Yeti, and the often Buck player on attack will take out the new Buck player on attack. This time he takes out Yeti. Pulse the Canadian, able to give all that information. Brian gets downed as the Heart Breacher peeks the doorway of offices down below. Acid will go for broke alongside these Dokkaebi logic bombs. Say goodbye to Necrox as he's Blair Witched in the corner, but Young will take out Acid, an immediate refrag. Unreal will meet his demise at his feet as a C4 blows him sky high. And Crazy, yet again, will be Orgless' last hope. Not bothering to stop the phone, Canadian will be there to greet him, and Crazy will just be holed up at the doorway. He has a nice long angle all the way into the bars, but Canadian with the pre-fires will try to keep Crazy down. 2 FBI operators will tangle around this door frame. Crazy in just under 25 HP, Canadian at full health, and all the information being available to Evil Geniuses as to Crazy's whereabouts. The Ashmain pushes up the stairs, running when a Jaeger ban is on the board. Everybody needs to be conscious of utility usage from the attackers, because look at Yeti. He's used both of his frag grenades to take out castle barricades, and this slugfest that is ensuing now, breaking up my train of thought, will leave us in a 4v3, favoring Orgless right now, but Canadian prone shuts one down, pulls out the deagle, cannot connect with Yeti, so he'll get downed by the Buck. Geo using the best of his abilities on that soft wall. Will net a very important kill. Phone's ringing, NVK could possibly get taken out by Yeti. The Buck not too far off. 1 stim pistol remaining. He can possibly use that to try and get Geo up, but Plant going down successfully, and there's very minimal coverage. Unreal is currently very exposed. Plant goes down, but Geo finishes him off, and Yeti in a 1v2. Keep in mind he's a skeleton key, so he could potentially go for close range kills if need be. Also, it does appear that the defense are completely blind. With 0 intel available to them, NVK will use his last remaining stim pistol, but the Buck's position will be given away, and Geo is there to try to go for the refrag. Geo will grab it around the wall, through the rotate hole.
Used as a bit of a diversion here as he tries to fall back, and Yeti unsure now of the position of the mirror. It's very good smoke and mirrors. Acid, though, will find the kill and take down NVK. Geo to peek around. Still knows that Yeti is inside of small bar area, and he peeks out, unfortunately, on ADSs at the wrong moment. Diffuser will get set down, and Young will try to fight it back with Necrox.
It's Unreal laying down here. Both Yeti and Crazy are so low that this is a possible opportunity, but both bodies of Orgless stacked up. Oh no, Yeti vaults in, Young takes him down. Crazy will be the last one yet again. I feel like this Ashmain is always in a position where he's on his lonesome. But Necrox will peek after we hear the Gumine go off. That's as good of a time as you're gonna have. So, Orgless, despite that strong start, you're gonna put Crazy on the Ying this time. Yeti's gonna find one, pulls out the pistol. Yeti, the double, the 2-piece with the pistol. Brian is there, and EG is getting locked out for the time being. But if there's an operator that is designed to clutch multiple people, well, it's gonna be the Alda in the hands of NVK! 2 monstrous kills as Brian and Yeti get hosed down. NVK almost gets taken out by a Claymore, stops for just a second, and he will go back in, wading through what could be a trap set by the remaining attackers. He sees Unreal peek around the corner, cannot detach his head from his neck. Instead, he'll do it to Acid, and the newest member and the coach will be the last one standing. NVK's only 1 HP, and he knows he needs to get out of there as quickly as he can. Unreal will be exposed for just a second as he plants the bomb, or the diffuser down by the bomb. The Ash at full HP. 1 shot to any part of the body from the R4C will be more than enough. NVK has half the diffuser left to go. as he'll creep on up and look for the Ash. Perfectly hidden behind that hookah sofa, trying to draw out the Ash. Just waiting for her to pop up, and a dare, almost. He's making an awful lot of noise. He's got so many bullets left. Takes an opportunity to reload. He's going to push on up. He might actually see the Ash. Oh! NVK, the clutch! He comes out of nowhere! And Nathan Valenti King with a huge moment. The man, absolutely insane.
Should be able to peek around them. 2 more drones being picked off as Acid will find one. Take down Geo, Yeti with 1. Brian, though, losing the fight here. Acid finally finding the black eye there of the Valkyrie. Acid peeking through the hatch, pre-opened, but it's 3v2, and one of those 2 left on the attack is a shield. That's the Monty, not the Blitz. Necros gonna get healed up back to pretty much full HP around the 90 mark. And I'm not sure if he has any smokes left, but that's the perfect spot to have those toxic babes thrown out into the Monty. Acid coming in from behind the shield as the Roman legionary basically trying to save the day. Necrox will get shot down before he can do anything with the smoke, but made it into the fire. Acid will take a bit more damage, trying to utilize whatever utility he's got in hand. He's playing the Polish operators, the Polish player, but no, Canadian finds the long range angle again. Now it's all up to Unreal as he tries to scope in and out. Unfortunately, does not work at all. EG 6-0 sitting at the half, and they were playing defense. And oh, the bopping up and down. Acid again will find a second one. Young though, oh, what a shot. All the way across from downtown, he'll get one. Still, huge advantage for the defense. At least one thing that EG can be happy about is the fact that they have a ton of time to play with, and basically the only goo mine left on the entire map just happens to be in front of Geo.
He finds it, though. They don't have the IQ for NVK to find it, but I mean, I suppose that an EMP-less Thatcher is capable of doing that, though he still has 1 EMP. The second goo mine, actually, Geo's going to get pushed from multiple angles, unable to connect, and finally, over by the circle couch, bobbing on up and down, and will take some comfort over by the DJ equipment. But a quick record scratch, and that's Necrox to get the very first kill, and we'll open things up for Evil Geniuses. So as long as that hasn't been picked off by NVK, that information will still be available to Yeti later on. NVK will be positioned on flank watch, so nowhere near able to take out the Valkyrie camera. Canadian falls to Yeti early on. Brian taking quite a bit of damage. Smokes go off. Brian takes out Young, doesn't matter, but oh man, kills starting to pile up with NVK and Geo getting 2, Brian dropping 1. It's Unreal, Ghost Sniper, and Brian left. Geo takes out Brian, and EG is 1 away. There you go. EG will complete the match. Unreal, Ghost Sniper, even though he wasn't able to find his way onto the scoreboard. Well, at least he was able to step in, and that's what matters most for Orgless.
Yeah, we figured they play aggressive. They play operators like Montaigne, like Yang. Even figured they do like some funky bands, just like they did with Jaeger. So we just kind of were prepared for that. I mean, we've lost to it before, so I think we learned our lesson. We need to play close together, force them to make the plays. They'll kind of play into our hand, and yeah.
Now, interesting that you went to Coastline. Now, this is shaping up to become one of your best maps in terms of your performances, especially over Pro League. You're 14-2 on Coastline this season. If my memory served me correctly, you might have played it a 3rd time, but it's not popping into the top of my head. Are you surprised that Coastline was the map that you ended up playing on?
No, we expected it. We know they like it as well. We figured that they would ban out other maps. We banned Border and Oregon, 2 of their stronger maps, to our knowledge, and also really good maps for when you're subbing in a player. They're pretty easy to pug. So, yeah, just kind of got rid of those maps, played. We were fine with Bank, we were fine with Villa, and we were fine with Coastline. We figured they'd go to Coastline since it's always been a map that they kind of lean towards.
Right. Now, your matchup yesterday against Reciprocity was the first loss of the season for you and the first time that you've dropped points throughout the course of these 7 weeks. Now, you're going to be heading into Montreal, and then you've got another half of the season to go with. It's shaping up in North America to be a very competitive 3-way race, and while your team has always consistently sat on the top of the leaderboards, how do you keep that fresh in your mind, knowing that Reciprocity and Dark Zero aren't really losing games either, and you've got 7 more games ahead of you to ensure that you go to the season finals at the end of Season 9?
We're thankfully in the position where we control our own destiny, right? We don't need them to lose. We don't need them to tie. As long as we play our game, we're fine. So we kind of have that in mind, whereas they need to sit there and pray that we start losing or tying. So just focusing on our game more than anything. We kind of had a rough match yesterday. I take a lot of the blame for that. I kind of froze up as a captain in the game and didn't make some of the calls that we needed to make, and ended up losing just by 1 round, 5-7. So I don't know. It happens. I think we learned from it. I think it'll help us a lot in the future, especially going into Invitational. And yeah, appreciate Reciprocity holding on to our spot for a day.
Now, after the Invitationals are done, theoretically, unless something changes, both Kaid and Nomad will be removed from their evaluation period, and hot off of the Montreal event, you'll be playing those 7 play days with presumably a pretty big meta shakeup. How do you as a team captain and how do you as a team transition so fast from as heated an event as the Invitational is to all the prep work that needs to be done to get ready for 2 new operators coming in, likely new bans, new loadouts, new strats, etc.?
It's kind of a matter of just getting right back into the grind, like after the event, making sure that we're testing things out and learning how to respond to certain things. So just kind of hopping back into things. Also, Gotcha helps out a ton with that. Takes a lot of the worry off of our shoulders, and he can develop things. Even right now, he can kind of like passively develop like stuff with those operators and keep it in mind. So big part's Gotcha, to be honest.